Hello everyone and welcome to Learn Adobe Photoshop CC 2020. In this video we're going to go over a course overview of what we're going to be learning throughout the course. So in section 2 we're going to talk about Creative Cloud. I'll talk about Creative Cloud plans and give you an overview of that, and then we're going to talk about each plan individually. So we'll talk about the individual plan, business plan, students and teachers plan, schools and universities plan, setup. I'll show you how to set up an account, download the Creative Cloud app, install the Creative Cloud app, and then we're going to install Adobe Photoshop. In section 3, we're going to talk about the welcome page. So I'll go over an overview of the welcome page and what we're going to be learning, and then I'll talk about each thing individually, and we'll cover Home, Learn, Lightroom Photos, Cloud Documents, Deleted, Create New, Open, and What's New. Finally, in section 4, we'll conclude the course with a conclusion and go over a summary of what we learned throughout the course. So with that in mind, thanks for watching. I'll see you inside the course. All right, welcome back to section 2, where we're going to talk about plans and pricing. In this video, we're going to go over an overview of the plans and pricing. So let's head over to our favorite web browser. For my example, I'm going to use Google Chrome. You're free to use whatever browser you want. Just head over to adobe.com for me. And we're going to click on Creativity and Design. And we're going to go to View All Plans and Pricing. Okay. So what I want to talk about in this video to go over the overview is just the different categories that they offer for people that are individuals, for business, teachers, students and teachers, and then schools and universities. Okay. So in the next 4 videos, we're going to talk in depth about each one of these. So we're going to first talk about individuals in the next video, then we'll talk about business, then students and teachers, and schools and universities. So with that in mind, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the individuals plan. So let's click on Buy Now. Make sure we have the individuals tab selected. Click on Buy Now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about each plan that they offer. Okay, so we're not going to sign up for anything. I'm just going to talk about each plan. Okay, so they have 3 options here. You can do the annual plan paid monthly, so that'd be $40 a month for 12 months and you're locked into a 12-month commitment. You can do the annual plan, which is prepaid, for $479.88, and that's paid up in full in advance. Or you can do the monthly plan, which is month to month. Think of it like Netflix or Hulu. You pay $79.49 a month to month, so you can cancel anytime. So these 2 plans, if you sign up for these, you're locked in for 12 months. This plan, if you sign up for that one, it's only month to month. And I'm going to tell you why you want to do month to month. When I first tried this out a while back, and I have a membership now, so it's not a big deal, but when I signed up for the trial and I forgot to cancel and I got charged for 1 month. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem, I'll cancel. Well, what had happened is I grabbed the annual plan and they wouldn't let me cancel without paying a fee. So I always tell people, when you sign up for this, sign up for the monthly plan to try it out for a month. Even if you get billed, then you can cancel and they won't charge you a fee. All right. So that's the individual options. Now what I want you to do is go back, click on the business plan, and I'll see you in the next video where we're going to talk in depth about this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about the business plan and the different options that you have. So let's click on Select Your Plan. Okay, so you can see here all apps. So let's click on that one and let's go to Buy Now, just so we can see what the different options are. Now, it's similar to the individuals plan, but the pricing is different. So you have 2 options. You can do the annual plan paid monthly at $60 per month per license, or you can do the annual plan prepaid for $719 a year per license. So let's say you have 5 employees. You pay $60 a month for each employee, basically, per license. Okay. So that's the business plan. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and let's go back one more time. All right. So you can see here too that they've lowered the price for the time being. They have a special offer. So this is a great time to jump in on that if you're a business and you want to jump in on that. Now what I want you to do is click on students and teachers. And in the next video, we'll talk in depth about this. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about students and teachers, the plans and pricing. Okay, so if you click right here where it says payment, we have annual plan and then paid monthly and then prepaid, right? So the annual plan paid monthly is $19.99 a month. If you do the annual plan prepaid, it's $239 a year, which is a great deal, especially if you're a student or a teacher and you want to learn Creative Cloud on a reasonable rate. This is the way to go. Okay, so that is the students and teachers plan. Click on the schools and universities, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll talk in depth about this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk in depth about schools and universities options for plans and pricing. Okay, so they have a whole bunch of options here. You can do a per name user license. So for small work groups and departments, all apps, $34 a month per user, and single apps. So if you just want to get like Photoshop or Illustrator, then it's $14.99 a month per user. Okay, so that's one option. And you get 100 gigs of cloud storage per license for easy file sharing, advanced 24/7 tech support, plus one-on-one access to product experts, requires institutional affiliation. Okay, per shared device. So for classrooms and labs, all apps, $330 a year per device. So let's say that you have, let me grab my calculator here real quick and we'll kind of run a little math. There we go. So let's say that you have 20 devices, okay? So if you do 330 times 20, that's $6,600. But here's the thing. You're paid up for the whole year. So if you do it, if you're obviously a school or university, it's per year. So you're paying based on the per year, okay? And you obviously have a budget for that. Every school is different, but at least you'll have a budget to justify that. And if you can't do that, you can just do this, the $34, per month. This is really a better deal because it's per device. The other option you have is per student pack. So for departments of 150 students or more, all apps are $189 a year per user. So if you have more than 150 students, they give you a discount, and a big one. So let's use the same example. And we'll do, instead of 330, we'll do 189, and we'll times that times, let's do 300 students this time. Okay, so that's $56,000 for 300 students. But you see, if I do 189 times 150, okay, let's just do the minimum. It's $28,000 per year. But that's a pretty good price for software, What they were charging before, Creative Cloud, it was $2,500 if you wanted the suite. So for 150 students, it'd be $375,000. So they've substantially lowered the cost for schools and universities to be able to afford the software. Okay, so here they have an institution-wide license for broad access for students and faculty, all apps. You need to call this number for pricing. So that's more of a, you have to request a consultation, same with this. And depending on the size of your university, they'll probably give you discounts. I don't know exactly what discounts they offer you, but that's schools and universities' Creative Cloud plans and pricings. Okay? So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome to section 3 where we're going to talk about account setup. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to set up a Creative Cloud account. So let's click on the Adobe logo here, which will take us to the home page. And I'm going to click on Creativity and Design, okay? And I'm going to click on what is Creative Cloud. And I'm going to click on I'm going to scroll down here to Photoshop and try for free. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Creative Cloud All Apps and click on Start Free Trial. Okay. Now remember what I talked about before. When you're doing this, we want to do a monthly plan. So I'm going to do monthly plan. And by the way, this is an individual plan. So we're going to just do an individual plan for this example. So if you're doing the business plan, then you'd go to Adobe here and you'd do the business plan. If you're doing students and teachers, same thing. Schools and universities, same thing. Okay. I'm going to type in my email address. So for this, I'm going to do sample at learntechplus.com. I'm going to hit continue. It's going to require credit card information. So I'm going to type in my credit card information, but pause the video, and then I will be back. All right, I'm back. So I blurred out the information here, but you can see I've entered in my credit card or debit card number here, the expiration month, year, first name, last name, billing address, zip code, country and region, and then if you have a company name and a phone number, these are optional forms here, but I'm going to click on Start Free Trial. Okay. There you go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set a password. Okay. So let me click on Set Your Password. And I'm going to type in 1234 just for sample. And then you can click on this little eyeball right here and it will show you the password. So make sure that you write down your password and remember what it is. Okay. Make sure you have a capital letter and all the other criteria. So I'm going to hit continue. And for Google Chrome, I can save the password and I can view it here. I'm not going to save it. All right. So in the next video, we're going to download the Creative Cloud app. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to download the Creative Cloud app. So what I want you to do is click on View Your Plan. Okay. I'm going to hit Done. And we're going to click on... Really? Oh, Jesus, so bad. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to download the Creative Cloud app. So what I want you to do is go up to the address bar where it says creativecloud.adobe.com and everything to the right of that, delete. And this is going to take us to the Creative Cloud web app. What I want you to do is click on Creative Cloud, right here, this little icon, and click download. Okay, so my download was blocked and I'm not sure why. I'm going to allow it to download. Okay, I'll hit done and then let's restart the download. Okay, so it'll pop up right down here. With Windows, it's going to be the same type of example. And in the next video, we're going to install Creative Cloud. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to install the Creative Cloud application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my downloads area in Chrome, which is the bottom bar here. I'm going to click on this and it's going to open up the file and it'll start installing Creative Cloud. Now, if you're on a Windows machine, you can go to the downloads folder and find the Creative Cloud installer there. Same with the Mac. If you're not using Google Chrome, it'll be in your downloads folder. Okay. So it wants us to enter our system password for Mac and possibly for PC as well. Depending on your settings, you may need to enter your password as well. Okay, so I've entered in my password. I'm going to skip the questions for right now. It's just getting information. Okay, and then it's going to install. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. And once this is done, then I will return. All right. All right, welcome back. So you've successfully installed Creative Cloud, and in the next video, we're going to cover the Your Work menu right here. Then we're going to talk about Discover. Then we'll talk about the Apps menu and so much more. So thank you so much for watching. And before I go, what I want you to do is right-click on the icon in your taskbar in Windows and your dock on Mac. Right-click on it and pin it to your taskbar in Windows and keep it in your dock on Mac. So you have access to it. I'm going to hit OK here. I'm going to maximize this, and I'm going to put this on Your Work. I'm going to hit skip, and I'll see you in the next video where we're going to talk about Your Work. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to install Adobe Photoshop CC 2020. So let's go to Adobe Creative Cloud, the desktop application, go to All Apps, and click on, hover over Photoshop here to make sure you have the right program, and then click Install. And what I'm going to do is, while this is installing, I'm going to pause the video, and I'll return once it's done installing. All right? All right, welcome back. So the installation is almost complete. It's at 92%. And it should just about be finished up here. So we'll give it a few more seconds here to finish up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to save the desktop application or the shortcut on our desktop for Windows. And actually, it's not the desktop, it's the taskbar. And on Mac, if you go to your dock here, then you'll see that you can pin it to the dock. And so what I want you to do on Windows is right-click on the icon once it opens up. So let's click on Open. And we can do this on Windows and Mac. So I'm going to hit Open. And once you hit Open, you're going to see this little icon in your taskbar in Windows. So just right-click on it and pin it to the taskbar. And in Mac, we're going to right-click on it, do Options, and keep in the dock. So that way you can quickly get to Adobe Photoshop without having to search for it or go to the Start menu and try to find it that way. It's accessible to you and easy to find and quick to find. All right, so let me close out this, and I'm going to maximize this. And in the next video, we're going to talk all about the welcome page. So with that in mind, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the overview of section 3, which is what we're in now, and the welcome page. So what is the welcome page, and why do I need to know about the welcome page? So the welcome page consists of a lot of different things. First of all, it welcomes you to Photoshop, obviously, because it's called a welcome page, right? The next thing that it offers is navigation to other parts of Photoshop. So for example, you have the Home menu, or the button, the Learn button, Lightroom Photos, Cloud Documents, Deleted, Create a new document, Open a document, and What's new. So we're going to be talking in depth about each and every one of these topics. We're going to talk about Home. We're going to talk about Learn. We're going to talk about Lightroom Photos. We're going to talk about Cloud Documents, Deleted, Create new, Open, and What's new. So we'll go in depth on all of those and talk about each one individually to give you more of an in-depth look at what these tools do. Why do I need to know about the Home menu or the Home page? Why do I need to know about Learn? Well, I'm going to explain that in the next couple videos. So with that in mind, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Home button or the Home menu or the Home page. However you want to define it, we're going to talk about the Home area, okay? And basically what it consists of is a couple different things. One, it gives you a welcome to Photoshop with your name, and then you can get, if you hover over this little eye for information, here you'll find information that may be useful as you begin. View more help in Learn. So go to Learn. And if you click on this, it'll take you to the Learn page, and then you can learn more about it. Okay, so the significance of the home page is that not only does it introduce you to Photoshop, and it's a key part of the welcome page, but it also, you can take an interactive tour. So if you click here, this will give you an interactive tour of Photoshop. Okay, now I'm not going to do that, but you're free to do that. Okay, because I'm actually going to give you an in-depth tour of Photoshop, and we're going to learn in detail everything we need to know about Photoshop. Okay, find how-tos and more. Go to Learn. So when you go to Learn, again, this will take you to Learn, where there's more tutorials and whatnot, where you can learn more information about Photoshop. Drag and drop an image, or select one from your computer to get started. So basically what this does is you can select a photo, and it will open up, it'll create a document for you, and you'll be good to go. All right. So that is the home page. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Learn page. So let's go over to the menu here and click on Learn. So what you're going to see here is you see hands-on tutorials, and these let you follow step-by-step instructions inside of Illustrator. So for example, they'll show you how to create an icon, create a logo, create text-only graphics, and take text up a level. Okay, modify letter forms to create unique compositions. Okay, and then if we click on All In-App Tutorials, what that's going to do is it's going to show you all the tutorials that are available inside of Illustrator. So start creating artwork, create color, and combine simple vector shapes to make eye-catching illustrations. From image to vector, use image trace to transform an image or photo into an editable vector shape. Okay, so that's all in-app tutorials. Now, if you do tutorials on the web, then we have a whole bunch more that you can do, and these open in a browser. So simplify your logo design process, explore workflows for brand identity design, streamline your icon design workflow, turn hand drawings into digital illustrations, explore character design tools and workflows, explore digital lettering techniques, explore tools for creative marketing material design, explore digital design tools and workflows, make data engaging with infographics, what makes a great layout, create and edit shapes, get to know Illustrator, transform and edit artwork, change color and strokes, and add text to your design. So all these tutorials that are tutorials on the web are based from adobe.com. Now, I'm not going to go to the site for this example, but basically you're going to get the same thing on the site, and it'll show you a little more than that as well, and you'll get to get the full glimpse of what is available on adobe.com. But basically these are the main ones, and the main point of showing you this is not to say that these are not important, because they are. But once you finish this tutorial, if you wanted to go back and take these tutorials and learn on top of what I teach you in this course, this is a great place to go, because the course that I'm doing is based on detailed fundamentals and learning basics to advanced information. So it never hurts to go online and grow and develop your skills above and beyond what I teach you in the course. So I highly recommend doing the all-in app tutorials and also the tutorials on the web. So with that in mind, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about Lightroom photos. So this is going to be just a quick overview, because right now we don't have any photos. So go ahead and click on Lightroom photos for a second. I don't have any photos in my Lightroom library. So it says your Lightroom library is empty. There's nothing here, but Lightroom access is one click away. Continue to Lightroom web and upload your photos there, or install Lightroom on your desktop. There's 100 gigs of cloud storage waiting for you. Okay, so basically what this is if you upload photos on Lightroom web, all of your images would show up here, okay? And you'd be able to select an image and then start editing it right away, right from here inside of Photoshop. That's why they added this, because Lightroom works hand in hand with Photoshop, because it's a more directed application for photo editing more than anything else. Photoshop is kind of the broad application to do photo editing, web and graphic design, user interfaces, and then video editing, and so much more. So Photoshop does a little bit of everything. Lightroom really focuses on photo editing. Really, that's what it's for. So that's what this is about, Lightroom Photos. And again, this is an important thing to understand because this is a new thing that they've been adding on the later versions of Photoshop. So you want to be up to date and understand why they're doing what they're doing. Okay, so that's Lightroom Photos. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about cloud documents. So let's click on cloud documents here. And so let's hover over this little information, the little eye icon here, access cloud documents here. They're automatically saved in the cloud for you as you work, okay? So what that means is when you create a file and you open it up, which we're gonna do here in the next couple videos, but when you create a new file, what that does is they give you the option to save it locally on your machine or save it on the cloud. And here's what I'm gonna tell you. If this was 5 years ago, I'd say save it on your desktop and organize it that way. But now that Adobe has finally made the shift to making the cloud part of their broader scale, because before it was like in 2013, it was called Creative Cloud, but you didn't really have the ability to save files in Photoshop to the cloud, so to speak. It was more of you upload the files to the cloud and then they're there and you can work from the cloud. But this is more direct where you have cloud documents, and in fact what they do is they'll sync up right here. So if you have any cloud documents, instead of syncing files to your desktop or another cloud storage service, create a cloud document. You'll find your cloud documents here. Wherever you sign in to Photoshop, on the way, collaborations, and other features. So not only can you literally log into Photoshop anywhere that it's installed, and then you can go up here and you can log into your account. And what that's going to do, and that just opened up this, but what that's going to do is it's going to take you to your account, and then you can log in through the browser, and then it will sync up with Photoshop and give you the ability to sync up any cloud documents that you have wherever you are, and then you can work from there, and you're dangerous. So this is very important to understand because Adobe is really pushing it now more than ever to have the documents on the cloud more than on the desktop. And I see what they're doing. Eventually, they may completely eliminate saving stuff locally on your computer and putting everything on the cloud. Possibly. I don't know that for a fact, but I know that Microsoft did this a while back in 2016 when they did not Creative Cloud, but Office 365. When they started doing that, that's when they started pushing everything up there. And another thing that they're doing here that they do on other cloud-based applications is they autosave. So they'll automatically save your work in the cloud. Okay. So, and that's a good thing because again, if you spend hours on a project, I'll give you an example. I was working on a project. This was about 10 years ago. I was working on a project, very in depth, huge file. And for whatever reason, I didn't save when I got to a certain point and my computer crashed. And I lost all the work that I had done up to that point. So you want to save always. But if you have it on the cloud, it at least gives you the security of knowing that your file is saved and that your work is not going to be lost. And that's the most important thing when you're creating stuff is you want to be able to save it somewhere and know that it's secure. And this is how you do that. Okay, so that's cloud documents. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk briefly about deleted. So if I click on this, you don't have any deleted files. So basically what that means is any files that we delete, they'll show up here and you'll be able to view them. That's basically all this is for, and it's for cloud documents. Okay, so again, this is a very short video, but it's just to explain what this is. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about create new. Okay. So let's click on create new. And what this was referring to is a new document. Okay. So these are the recent items that I've opened or have been opened. So you have the default Photoshop size, which is a 7 by 5 inch document at 300 pixels per inch. So this is a really high resolution image, and that's more designed for print. Okay. Saved, if there's any presets or anything, they'll be saved here. Photo presets are here, so you can view all the presets here. The default Photoshop size, landscape 3x2, landscape 6x4, 7x5, 10x8, and then we have portrait 2x3, 4x6, 5x7, and 8x10. Okay. Then you have print. We have letter 8.5x11, 8.5x14, 11x17, and 210 by 297 millimeters. And then there's a bunch more down here. Then we have art and illustration. We have 1000 by 1000 pixels, 2000 by 2000, poster at 18 by 24 inches, and then postcard, right? Then for web, we have web most common, web large, web medium, and web minimum. Mobile, we have iPhone X, iPhone 8, 7, and 6 Plus, and then iPhone 8, 7, 6, and then the iPad Pro, and then film and video. You have HD TV 1080p, HDV, HDTV 720p, and then HDV 1080p, and then DVC Pro HD 720p. Okay, so those are some of the different ways that you can create a document. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the default Photoshop size, and we'll just create this document just so you can see how it works. And so I'll create that. Now, when I save, I go File, and we'll do Save As. What it's going to do is it's going to give me two options. And this is what I was talking about when we were talking about the cloud documents. We can save to the cloud, or we can save on your computer. And what this does is if you save here, then it'll be up in the cloud, saved on adobe.com, for instance. And with this one, it would be locally on your machine. So if you lose a file or your computer crashes, then it would be gone. So what I recommend doing now, because it's a different time than it was even 5 years ago, is to save it on the cloud. Okay, so let's save to the cloud documents, and let's make a folder, and we'll call this sample. I'll do 01 sample cloud documents. Okay, and I'm going to hit save. And then we'll call this project-01. Okay, and I'll hit save. And then you can see here we have the cloud. So you know that this is a cloud document. Okay, so I'm going to close that. And new cloud documents. So that popped up. So if I go to cloud documents, I'll hit OK here. And if I click here, and you can see the file right here, right? So I can select that, and we can open it, we can rename it, we can delete it, or we can move it to a different folder or different location, right? So that's how you create a new document, whether it's on the cloud or on your desktop. And so now what I want to do is create another new document. And this one we're going to call Project 2. Do the default Photoshop size. And we'll call this Project 2. And just save this on your desktop. Project-02. Okay. I'll hit Create. And then I'm going to do File, Save As. Okay. And we're going to save it to our computer. And I'm just going to save it on my desktop. You can do the same. And we'll just click on Desktop. I'll do Project-02. I'm going to hit Save. And there you go. That's how you create a new project on a new file with locally on your computer and also on the cloud. So if I close this, there you go. That's how you create a cloud document and a local document. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to open a document. So I'm going to click on Open, and I'm going to click on Desktop, which is already selected, and I will click on Project-02, which is what we made in the previous video. I'll click on Open, and there you go. So this is the project that we created in the previous video, and that's how you would open up a project. Okay. Now, the other way you can do it is by not even using the Open command, but actually going to Cloud Documents, selecting the file here or the folder here, and then opening the file here. So if you click on the three dots, you can open there, or if you just double click on it, it'll open up, and now you've opened up your cloud document as well. So you can open up a local document or a cloud document. Very fast and easy to do, and pretty straightforward. The other thing I wanted to tell you too and show you is you'll notice here that they have a cloud icon for the cloud, but also they have PSD-C for cloud. So a normal Photoshop file generically is saved as a PSD. So let's do one more thing here, and then we're going to wrap this up. When I click on Open, you'll notice that this is a .psd file, right? So let's open that up, and that's how you know that it's a local file. .psd is a local file, .psd-c is a cloud document. And that's pretty much the standard for Photoshop. Now, there are other formats for Photoshop. So if I do Save As, I'll just show you a couple examples here real quick. Save on your computer. And what you can do is you have the Photoshop format, which is PSD, and then a large document format for print is .psb, okay? And then you have image styles here, like images, Photoshop EPS, so that's .eps. But the one that I always use is Photoshop. So it's .psd. All right, so I'm gonna hit cancel on that. So that's how you open up a cloud document and also a locally saved document on your computer as well. Okay, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Hello everyone, welcome to section 4 where we're going to talk about preferences. So what I want you to do is go to the upper left hand corner if you're on a Mac, and if you're on a PC, go to Edit and go to Preferences. Okay, so we're going to go to Illustrator, Preferences, and I'm going to click on General. And I'm going to talk about the overview of what we're going to be talking throughout this section. So we're going to cover all the preferences available for Adobe Illustrator. So we're first going to talk about General, okay, then Selection and Anchor Display, Type, Units, Guides and Grid, Smart Guides, Slices, Hyphenation, Plugins and Scratch Disks, User Interface, Performance, File Handling and Clipboard, Appearance of Black, and Devices. So with that in mind, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back to section 4 where we're going to talk about preferences. In this video, we're going to go over an overview of what we're going to be learning throughout this section. So let's head over up to Photoshop. And if you're on a PC, go to Edit and then click on Preferences. So we're going to go to Photoshop and click on Preferences and then General. And then I'm going to talk about each one of these that we're going to be covering throughout the section here. So first we're going to talk about General. Then we're going to talk about Interface, Workspace, Tools, History Log, File Handling, Export, Performance, Scratch Disks, Cursors, Transparency, Unit and Rulers, Guides, Grid and Slices, Plugins, Type, 3D, Enhanced Controls, Technology Previews, and Product Improvement. Okay, so with that in mind, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about general preferences. So up here we have the color picker. So we're going to use Adobe's color picker. You can also use Apple's color picker. Okay. The HUD color picker, we're going to just keep it as default. Image interpolation, we're going to do bicubic automatic, method used when scaling or resizing images. So we're going to leave that as the default. I'm going to talk about the options first that are unchecked. So auto update open file based documents, beep when done. So that just means when you export a document or save something, it'll beep. After each command is completed, use legacy new document interface. So if I hover over that, use the legacy new document dialog, skip transform when placing, determine whether a free transform will be shown when placing, and then use legacy free transform, determines whether to use legacy free transform behavior. Okay, so those are the ones by default that are unchecked, and we're going to leave it that way. As far as the check, we have auto show the home screen, automatically show the home screen when the last document is closed. Export clipboard, determines whether to export clipboard contents when switching applications. Resize image during place, determines whether to resize images to fit during place, and then always create smart objects when placing. So it determines whether placing a file into a document will always create a smart object. Smart objects are required for some file types when linking files together. Okay, so if you change this and you wanted to change it back, reset preferences on quit. So you'd click here and then reset your preferences. You can also reset all the warning dialogues there. Okay, so that's the general preferences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the interface preferences. So let's click on that. And you can see right away we have appearance. So we have color theme. I'm going to set it to the darkest theme that they have, because you're going to find that this is going to be the easiest on your eyes when you're glaring at a screen for a long time. You want to use the darkest theme that they have. It's just softer on your eyes. You can go wild and do the bright, well, not bright, but it's just a white color, and it's really bright compared to the dark gray. So I'm going to put it back to dark gray here. Standard screen mode is going to be default with a border of drop shadow, and the color is default, so it's this color right here. Full screen with menus, same thing. Full screen is black, artboard's default, and the border is a line. So presentation, the user interface language is going to be English. User interface scaling is auto. User interface font size is small. And then options here, we have show channels in color, that's deselected right now, dynamic color sliders, and then show menu colors. Okay, so that's the interface menu, actually the interface preferences. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about workspace preferences. So if I click on that, you have a couple options here. We have the option to auto collapse iconic panels. Right now that's deselected, but it determines whether to automatically collapse open iconic panels. I want to read the rest of the hint there. When clicking elsewhere in the application, okay. Auto show hidden panels. We're going to keep that checked. Reveals hidden panels on rollover, okay. Open documents as tabs, open new document windows as tabs instead of floating windows. Enable floating document when window docking, okay. Allow floating document windows to be docked as tabs in other windows while being dragged. Then we have large tabs, okay. So with the large tabs, increase the height of workspace tabs, and then condensed. Enable narrow option bars or options. So for smaller monitors, it will condense everything down so you can easily work. What I recommend doing is getting 2 monitors at least, so that you can have the canvas on one and then with the tools, and then put all your panels on another monitor. If you can't do that, then doing the auto show hide hidden panels is a good way to go. If you want to restore your default workspaces, you just click here, and changes will take effect the next time you start Photoshop. Okay, so that is the workspace preferences. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the tools preferences. So if I click on that, you can see all these options that we have available to us. We can show tooltips. Well, guess what I'm using right now? It determines whether to use to show tooltips for controls and tools. This is a tooltip. So show rich tooltips determines whether to show descriptive tooltips with video inline. Okay. Enable gestures. Determines whether to enable touch gestures. Now, I don't have a touch screen, so if you're using the iPad, the gestures are good. I would keep it enabled. Use Shift key for tool switch. Determines whether to require the Shift key when switching between group tools. Over scroll. Allows scrolling past normal bounds of window. Enable flick panning. Determines if flickering with the hand tool continues. Just scroll down the document. Okay. Double click layer mask launches select and mask workspace. Okay. Vary round brush hardness based on HUD vertical movement. Arrow keys rotate brush tip, and snap vector tools transforms to pixel grid. All four of those we're going to keep as default. Show reference point when using transform. And if I hover over that, reference point when working with transform tool. Okay. Zoom with scroll wheel. Determines whether zooming or scrolling in the default wheel action. I would say keep that off only because I use the scroller to go up and down. I use that to scroll up and down the page. So if it's also the zoom key, that's going to mess you all up. Animated zoom. So it determines whether zooming is animated or not. Zoom resizes windows, determines whether document windows resize when zooming. And then zoom clicked point to center. We're going to leave that off, but you can turn that on if you so desire. Okay? So that's the tools preferences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the history log preferences. So if I click on that, this is going to be very short and sweet, but that's okay. So if I click on history log, we can go to, right now it's saved as metadata, but we can save our log items to text files, and then we can choose the text file, okay? And we can save the log as Photoshop edit log.txt, okay? You can also save it as both, so it'll save as metadata and as a text file. I'm going to turn that off because I don't want to change any of the default preferences that Adobe sets for Photoshop because it works great. Okay, so that's history log preferences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about file handling. So if I click on that, we have file saving options. So we have image previews, always save as to original folder, save in background, thumbnail, append file extension always, use lowercase, automatically save recovery information every 10 minutes, file compatibility, so we have camera raw preferences, prefer Adobe Camera Raw for supported raw files. That's checked, so we'll leave that on. And then use Adobe Camera Raw to convert documents from 32-bit to 16 and 8-bit. Ignore EXIF profile tag and ignore rotation metadata. Okay. Ask before saving layered TIFF files and disable compression of PSD and PSB files. Okay. Maximize PSD and PSB file compatibility. Ask. Okay. Cloud documents local working directory. You can choose a working directory for when you save files to the cloud. And then we can set the default. Okay. And then recent file list contains 20 files. So that just means that when I open up Photoshop, it's going to show recent files of up to 20 files. Okay. And if you change that, it'll show more or less depending on what you do. Okay. So that's file handling preferences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about export. So if I go to export, quick export format, we can set it to PNG, JPEG, GIF, or SVG. Let's leave it as PNG. We're going to allow transparency, and if you want, you can do a smaller file, which is 8-bit. Then we can do a quick export location, so ask where to export each time. Export files to assets folder next to the current document. So we can do that if you want, but I'm going to leave it as the default. And then export, quick export metadata. Okay, so you can do copyright and contact info if you want to. and then do quick export color space, so convert to sRGB, and then export as location. So export assets to the last location specified. Okay, so that just means that you're going to specify the location where it's going to be saved, and then that's where it will be saved. Okay, so that's the export preferences. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. We're going to talk about performance preferences. So if I click on that, you can see here I have available memory, or RAM. Well, memory usage, let's look at that first. Okay, so memory usage, so available RAM, which is random access memory. I have 30 gigs of RAM available. The ideal range is 16 to 22, and let Photoshop use 21. Now I can bump that up to more. I can let it use all of it, or just where it was, roughly where it was. For the graphics processor setting, detected graphics processor, I have an ATI Technologies Incorporated AMD Radeon RX 580 OpenGL engine. Okay, so use graphics processor. History and cache. Optimize cache levels and tile size for web UI design, default photos, and huge pixel dimensions. Okay, so history states we have 50, cache levels is 4, cache tile size is 1024K. And then we have options. So we can do legacy compositing. So revert to old Photoshop compositing engine, which we're not going to do. I want to leave it as what it is. And what it's doing is it's optimizing the hardware for max performance. Okay, so that's the performance preferences. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about scratch disks. So let's click on that. And you can see here, I have 3 drives on my Mac here. And what it's doing is you can change your scratch disk by holding Command Option when launching Photoshop. Okay, so the scratch disk that I'm using is named Use for OS. So that's my C drive, essentially. I have 817 gigs left of space that are free. I also have a backup drive of 930 gigs that I could use as well, but I'm going to keep it on the C drive. Okay, but if you have a massive secondary drive that's like 4 terabytes, let's say, or 2 terabytes, I would recommend using that as your scratch disk, where it's going to save all your files, all the temp files, everything, so that you have maximum performance with Photoshop. Okay, because the more you pile on your hard drive, the slower it starts to get. So as long as you have a solid state hard drive, it'll work fast. Okay, and that's what I'm using. I have 2 solid state hard drives here, and then all of my external hard drives are solid state as well. So everything transfers really fast, which is what you want. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about cursors. So you can see here we have the painting cursor. We have standard, precise, normal brush tip, which is this. Full-size brush tip, show crosshair, and brush tip, show only crosshair while painting, show brush leash while smoothing. Okay, and this is the brush leash color if you set that up. Then we have other cursors, so standard and precise, and then the brush preview, and the color is going to be red. Okay, so that's cursors. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about transparency and gamut. I think that's how you say it. So we have transparency settings, we have grid sizes, or grid size is going to be medium. You can set it to large, small, or none. And then the grid colors, we can do light, medium, dark, red, orange, green, blue, and purple. We'll leave it as light. And then you have gamut warning, so the color is going to be like a light gray, and opacity is going to be 100%. Okay, so that's transparency and gamut. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about units and rulers. Okay, so when I click on that, you have units. So we have rulers, which is going to be pixels. Type is going to be points. Column size is going to be width of 180 points. Gutter is going to be 12 points. New document preset resolution. For print, it's going to be 300 pixels per inch. And for screens, it's going to be 72 pixels per inch. And then pick size is going to be PostScript 72 points per inch. Okay, so that's units and rulers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about guides, grid, and slices. Okay, so this is just going to be the colors that they use for all these different options. So guides are basically lines that are vertical and horizontal that you use to guide your project, basically. So let's say that you wanted to line something up. Okay, so let's use this as an example as a guide. Okay, so you see this line right here? In fact, let's use this line right here. This is perfect for a horizontal line, or guide right here. Okay, so that's how it looks, but it's a different color. It would be cyan instead of like a dark gray. Then the artboard is going to be light blue. Inactive light artboard will be a light blue. That's if you show inactive artboard guides. Okay, and then smart guides is going to be magenta. For the grid, we're going to use a custom color. Okay, so that's the color. It's going to be a line. Grid line every 1 inch, and subdivisions is going to be 4. Slices, we're going to do a light blue. Path, we're going to do the same one. And then controls, so control color is going to be the same, that same light blue. It may be a little bit different, but it looks pretty similar, you know, and you can see the color right here. Okay, so that's guides, grid, and slices. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about plugins. So if I click on plugins, you can see that most of these, if not all of them, are deselected. And the reason for that is because the generator, so we can enable generator, enable remote connections. So service name is Photoshop server, and then the password, which I need to change, and then my host name. So learnsmacpro.local, and then my IP4 address, 192.168.0.103. So if I set all that up, then I can enable a remote connection, which there's really no reason to do that because you can grab files from the cloud and then install Photoshop wherever you are, basically. Filters and extension panels show all filter gallery groups and names. We're going to deselect that because that's defaulted that way. Allow extensions to connect to the internet, and then load extension panels. Okay, so that's the plugins. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about type preferences. So if I click on that, you can see here we have type options. So use smart quotes, enable missing glyph protection, show font names in English, use escape key to commit text, enable type layer glyph alternates, and fill new type layers with placeholder text. Okay, and number of recent fonts to display. We're going to display 10. Okay, and then choose the text engine options. We're going to do Latin and East Asian layout, or you can do world ready layout. Sets the default text engine of newly created document. Okay, so that's the type preferences. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about 3D preferences. Okay, so for available VRAM for 3D, we're going to use 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, for 3D overlays, we're going to, for constraint, we'll use this color here. Ground plane will be black. Selected constraint will be this color here, and then rendering tiles will be like a royal-esque blue. Okay, then we have rich cursors. So we have show on hover, show on interaction, and then axis control. We have invert camera axis and separate axis controls. That's if you want that enabled. By default, it's turned off. We're going to leave it off. Okay, then we have ray tracer, high quality threshold of 5. Render tile size is going to be extra large. And then 3D file loading, active light source limit 8, and default diffuse texture limit at 290. Okay, so this is all for 3D projects and whatnot. Okay, so that's 3D preferences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about enhanced controls. Okay, so this is for the touch bar. So for Photoshop for iPad, you can use this. It's going to show touch bar property adjustments. And it's actually not for the iPad, my apologies. It's for the new MacBook Pro, which has a touch bar at the top. Okay, and this is going to use, it's going to show touch bar property adjustments. Okay, so it'll allow you to use it with the MacBook Pro, which is amazing. I'm just going to say that. It's a great laptop. Okay, so that's the enhanced controls. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the technology previews. So if I click on that, we can enable preserve details 2.0 upscale. Okay, and that's really it for technology previews. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about product improvement. So if I click on this, if you do want to participate, you can, by all means. If you want to participate, you just click yes, I'd like to participate, and join the Adobe Photoshop Improvement Program to help improve the quality, reliability, and performance of Adobe software and services. Participation will not degrade the performance of your software. Okay, so if you choose to participate, Adobe will collect image data that will be viewed by researchers, access cloud documents that will be viewed by researchers, collect information on how you use the software to identify trends and usage patterns. Adobe will not use this data for any purpose other than to improve Adobe software and services. So changes will take effect next time you start Photoshop. So I do not want to participate, but if you want to participate, this is where you would do it. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome to section 5, where we're going to talk about the main menu. So in this video, we're going to talk about the overview of what we're going to be learning throughout the course. So, hello everyone, and welcome to section 5, where we're going to talk about the main menu. In this video, we're going to go over an overview of what we're going to learn throughout this section. Okay, so we're going to cover all these menus up here. So File, Edit, Image, Layer, Type, Select, Filter, 3D, View, Window, and Help. All right, so with that in mind, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the View menu. So if I click on View, okay, we have a whole bunch of options here. So I'm going to move the mouse over so you can see the words there, and we have a couple, I don't know, 20 sub-menus about. We have outline, preview on CPU. You can do overprint preview, pixel preview, trim view, presentation mode, screen mode. So you can do normal screen mode, full screen with menu bar mode, and then full screen mode. And the shortcut for that is if you hit the letter F 2 times, it'll do the same thing. And that's on Mac and PC. Okay. So if you just hit F and then hit F again, it'll give you the same exact thing as this. And that's what I recommend doing for screen mode, is if you need that, just use the keyboard shortcut for that, because trying to go in here and change it out over and over again is not worth it. Okay, we have proof setup. So this is the color setup for CMYK, and then we have proof colors. Okay, we have zoom in, zoom out, fit artboard and window. Okay, so it'll zoom in for you, and then fit all in window, so it'll zoom out so everything will fit in there. Then we have show slices. So I don't have any slices to show, but if I did, they would show up there. Lock slices, if we had any. Actual size, hide edges, hide artboards. Show print tiling, hide bounding box. Show transparency grid. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over a little bit just so when I read the menu, it's not as bright. Okay. So we have show print tiling, hide bounding box, show transparency grid, hide template, show live paint gaps, hide corner widget, hide gradient annotator, smart guides, perspective grid, so we can show the grid. We can show the ruler or rulers. So there's the grid. And this is a perspective grid, okay? So if I show the okay, there's this perspective, right? Okay, so I can close that out here. And I think it's Command R and Control R on the PC and Command R on the Mac to show and hide the ruler, okay? I've never used View for showing or hiding the ruler, or let's hide the grid though. The reason for that is I just turn this on and off when I need it because there's some things that I'm working on that I don't need a ruler at all. So I just turn it off with Command R on the Mac, Control R on the PC, and it does the same thing. Okay. You're going to notice when you're watching my courses that I do a lot of keyboard shortcuts. I'm not going to do it at the beginning because I want you to learn along with me, but once I get into it, we're going to start doing more keyboard shortcuts. So let's do Command S on the Mac and Control S on the PC to save this document. There we go. And I'll continue to talk about view. So we talked about guides, so we can hide or show guides, or lock guides, sorry. And here's the significance too of showing the ruler is I can go right from the ruler and click and drag, and now I have a guide, right? And then I can snap it right there. And then I go here and I can hide the grid, right? Sorry, the guide. I can hide all my guides. Or I can hit Command on the Mac, Command exclamation point, I think. No, that's not right. Don't follow my words with that. Just go to View and do Guides and then Show Guides. Okay. And then you can hide it there as well. You can lock the guides or we can clear the guides. Okay, right there. Okay. Then next we have Show Grid, Snap to Grid, Snap to Pixel, Snap to Point, New Views, Edit Views. Okay, so let's click on New View. Okay, I'll hit Cancel on that, and then let's go to View and let's do Edit Views. Okay, so if we had any views, we could edit it here. All right, so that is the View menu. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Edit menu. So let's click on that. And what I want to do is let's go to our Layers panel. So go to Window and go to Layers for me. Okay, and let's turn off this layer and delete the artboard too. I'm just kidding. Don't delete the artboard, but delete the layer. Okay, and let's create a new layer. So if I just click on the plus sign here, we have a new layer. Okay, so now what we can do is I want to add some text to this layer. Okay, so this is some text. We'll Command A on the Mac, Control A on the PC to highlight that, and then let's make it 72 pixels. Okay, and then hit V for the Move tool, and we'll move it kind of in the center. And now you can do a lot of the options that I want to do. So we can undo the move. Okay, that's the first one I want to talk about. Second, I want to redo the move. Okay, then I want to toggle last state. Okay, which will just send it back again. And then I want to copy. So let's copy. Okay, let's cut. Really, it doesn't let me cut. Okay, how about now? There we go. Now we can cut. Okay, I'm going to hit the check mark here. And then let's paste. So let's make another text file. Or layer, I should say. And then let's paste it. So there you go. Okay. So now we learned undo, redo, toggle state, cut, copy, paste. Okay. Copy merged and paste special. Or if you have something that you need to merge and paste special. Okay. Now the other thing we can do is if I select both the layers, it should allow me to, okay, it won't let me clear, which is fine. So we'll make another layer, and then I'm going to grab the rectangle tool here, and I'm going to draw a rectangle there. I'm going to hit the letter G for the paint bucket, and then paint that there, and then I'm going to hit Command D on the Mac, Control D on the PC to deselect this, and then let's do, okay, there you go. Now let's talk about so you can search, check spelling, we can find and replace text. So let's do that. So this is some text. I like to change the text. Okay. Okay, so let's hit done. Okay, so that I didn't want to cooperate. That's all right. Let's talk about fill. So fill is your foreground. Okay, so this is your foreground here, and this is your background. Okay, so we'll leave that the way it is. And then stroke is going to be black. Okay, and I'm going to undo this because I didn't want the canvas to be black. There we go. I'm going to hit Command S on the Mac and Control S on the PC to save the file here so we don't lose what we have. Okay, and then we're going to talk about content aware fill, which isn't available, but we can do content aware scale. And I'm going to do one thing here. I'm going to move the canvas over. So if you hold spacebar and bring the canvas over to the right and then do this, this will be easier on the eyes for you and me. Okay, don't say I don't care. All right, then we have content aware scale. Okay, puppet, warp, perspective warp, free transform, transform so we can scale, rotate, skew, distort, perspective, warp, split warp horizontally, vertically, crosswise, remove warp, split, rotate 180 degrees, rotate 90 degrees clockwise, and rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise, flip horizontal and flip vertical. Okay, we have auto align layers, auto blend layers, define brush preset, define pattern, define custom shape, purge. So we're going to do clipboard, histories, all in video cache, Adobe PDF presets. Presets, we have preset manager, migrate presets, export, import presets, and then remote connection. Color settings, assign profile, convert to profile, keyboard shortcuts, menus, toolbar, and start dictation. So let's click on keyboard shortcuts. There you go. So if you just click on this, you can see the keyboard shortcuts for Photoshop, right? And then for the file menu, for the edit menu, and so on and so forth. Okay. So we're going to get more in depth in that later. So let's go back to edit and talk about menus. Okay. So menus are the same way. It's just going to show you, you can turn menus on and off, and you can give it a color. So if you want to give it red, let's hit OK and see if that works. Yeah, it isn't bad. That kind of throws me off because I'm used to just the gray on blue, but hey, if you want to do that, go right ahead. So you go back to menus here on edit, and I'm going to turn that off to none. You can also turn these on and off. So if you don't like all these menus, for whatever reason you have, I guess is, not I guess, but is viable, you can turn off the menus. So if we want to turn off new, if I hit OK and go back to File, then new won't be there, right? If I go back to menus, we turn new back on, and we can go down the line here, and we can go to Edit, Image, Layer, Type, all of them, and turn them on and off as we wish, okay? So Adobe gives you complete and control of the program and how you want it to look and feel so that you can work efficiently as possible. So if you want to just use tools that you need, I would do that. So here's what I did. I went to Edit, and I went to Toolbar, okay? Just so you know where I'm going here, because I'm still rambling about the other thing. But with the toolbar, it's the same thing. You can move the tools around. We're going to leave it as the default because I'm going to be going through all these in a later section. So I don't want to change anything, and then when I get there, then it's all different. You know, we want to keep it the same and uniform. But this basically, you can drag and drop tools or their groupings in a toolbar list view. And so we have extra tools here, but you can move them around. You know, like I can move it there or here. It's completely movable, and you can also restore the defaults here. Okay. So you can totally customize this to what you want, which is great. I've never really wanted to customize the tools, but I can see why it's important and why it's valuable, because when you're working on, let's say you're working on photo editing, okay, you don't need all these tools for photo editing. Or if you're doing a web design, which is a completely different avenue, right? You don't need all these tools for web design. You really don't. And so that's why they have a thing called workspaces, which the workspaces will do that for you. Like when I do graphic and web, it's going to change the panels, but it doesn't change the toolbar. Okay. Actually does change the toolbar. I've been corrected. So that's why they give you that option, because when you are changing the workspaces, it'll go from the full default tools to just the web and graphic tools, which you don't need all these for that. Okay, so this is the essentials toolbar. But again, the point of talking about this is that you can customize this to whatever you want. And when you create a custom workspace, you can also edit this as well. Okay, so that's the real cool thing about Photoshop. And that is the edit menu. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the image menu. Okay, so if I go to image and we go to mode, we have a whole bunch of options here. We can set the mode to bitmap, grayscale, duotone, index color, RGB color, CMYK color, lab color, and multi-channel. Okay, and then we can do 8 bits channel, we can do 16 bits channel, or 32 bits channel. Okay, for adjustments, we can do brightness, contrast, levels, curves, exposure, vibrance, hue, saturation, color balance, black and white, photo filter, channel mixer, color lookup, invert, posterize, threshold, gradient map, selective color, shadows, highlights, HDR toning, desaturate, match color, replace color, and equalize. Okay. Then you can also do auto tone, auto contrast, and auto color, which I use for color correction. Image size, we can adjust the image size. Canvas size, we can adjust the canvas size. Image rotation, so we can do 180 degrees, 90 degrees clockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise, arbitrary, flip canvas horizontal, and flip canvas vertical. We can also crop. We can trim, reveal all, duplicate, apply image, calculations, and then variables. So we can define and then data sets, apply data set, trap, and analysis. So we can set measurement scale, select data points, record measurements, ruler tool, count tool, and place scale marker. Okay, so that's the image menu. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the layer menu. Okay, so with this, there's a lot of options. You can click on new and create a layer. You can also do background from layer, group, group from layers, artboard, artboard from group, artboard from layers, frame from layers, and convert to frame. You can also do layer via copy and layer via cut. Okay, we can copy CSS, copy SVG, duplicate layer, delete the layer. If there's a hidden layer, we could delete that. Export, or actually quick export is PNG, export as. So what these are is you can actually click on quick export as PNG and export this layer that we have selected, layer 1. Okay. We can rename the layer, layer style, so we can do blending options. So you can do bevel and emboss, stroke, inner shadow, inner glow, satin, color overlay, gradient overlay, pattern overlay, outer glow, drop shadow, copy layer style, paste layer style, clear layer style, global light, create layer, hide all effects, and scale effects. Okay. Smart filter, which is unselectable. We can also do new fill layer. So we can do solid color, gradient, or pattern. New adjustment layer. So we can do brightness, contrast, levels, curvatures, exposure, vibrance, hue, saturation, color balance, black and white, photo filter, channel mixer, color lookup, invert, posterize, threshold, gradient map, and selective color, which again, we're going to talk about these at a later time in the course. So I'll go into more detail with that. We have layer content options, layer mask, so reveal all, hide all, and then from transparency, vector mask, we can reveal all or hide all, okay? And then create clipping mask, smart object, so we can convert to a smart object. Video layers, so new video layer from file, new blank video layer. Rasterize, New layer based slice, group layers, ungroup layers, hide layers, arrange, bring to front, bring forward, send backwards, send to back, combine shapes, align layers to artboard, distribute, lock layers, link layers, selected link layers, merge visible, flatten image, and matting. Okay, so you can see why when we were talking about the edit toolbar and menu, why sometimes you would like to come in here and edit some of these, because it's really long, which is okay. But if you don't need all these, then it's kind of overkill, right? So that in a nutshell is the layer menu, okay? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the type menu. So if I click on type, you can see more from Adobe Fonts. So Adobe Fonts works with Creative Cloud, which basically it will sync fonts from Adobe Creative Cloud, right? And so whenever you need a font, you can just sync up with Adobe Creative Cloud, which it does automatically, and you'll be able to have all the fonts that you need, okay? Panels, we have character panel, paragraph panel, glyphs panel, character style panel, and then paragraph styles panel, okay? Anti-alias, orientation, open type, extrude to 3D, create work path, convert to shape, rasterize type layer, convert to paragraph text, and warp text are all deselected because we don't have the correct content here in order to activate those. We have match font, font preview size, language options, okay, we're going to leave it as default, update all text layers, manage missing files, paste lorem ipsum, load default type styles, and then save default type styles. So that is the type menu. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the select menu. So if I click on that, I can select all. Okay, and you'll see there's like a little dotted line all the way around the canvas here. So we've selected everything in the canvas. We can also deselect, okay, and reselect. We can do inverse. We can select all layers. Deselect layers, okay. Find layers, which I only have 3 here, so we don't, I can type in some, okay. If you know what the name of the layer is, then you'll be able to find it there. Isolate layers. No layers match the filter. All good. We have color range, focus area, subject, select a mask, modify, grow, and similar, transform selection. All those are deselected right now. Load selection, save selection, and new 3D extrusion are all disabled at the moment. Edit in quick mask mode. So if I click on that, we can edit in quick mask mode, okay, which it's currently in. So if I do edit, or I just turn it off here. So let's turn it off. I'll Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC, and that is the select menu. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the filter menu, okay? So what I want to do is we need to grab an image so that we can actually do this. So what I want to do is I want to select all the layers here. So if you just hold Command on the Mac, Control on the PC, and hold that down, just click each layer and hit delete. I'll hit yes. And then we'll make a new layer and hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. And what we're going to do is we're going to find a image that we can use here. So let's go to File, and we're going to go to Search Adobe Stock. And what I'm going to do is we're going to grab an image from Adobe Stock. And all we're doing is we're using it for educational purposes only. So let's go to Photos. And what we're going to do, let's click on Better Together. Let's download a preview. Okay. So we'll give that a second. I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to go to my downloads, which will pop up on the other screen here. I'm going to right click on that and open it with Photoshop. Okay. All right, great. So you can see they have the watermark on their Adobe stock. That's fine because, again, we're just using this for educational purposes. I'm not putting this anywhere else. So I'm going to hit Command. So here's what I did. Okay. This layer is locked by default. So if you just come up here and click on the lock here, or just double click here, it'll unlock the layer. And then if we hit Command A on the Mac, Control A on the PC, and then Command C on the Mac and Control C on the PC, we can copy that. And then Command V on the Mac, Control V on the PC, we can paste it in, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off. Not turn it off, but delete. Don't save this source, and it's just going to be here. So we're going to hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC, and now we're going to talk about filters. This is going to be fun. Okay, so you can do a couple things. We can convert for smart filters. We have filter gallery, adaptive wide angle, camera raw filter, lens correction, liquify, vantage point. So let's do liquify just to see what that does for fun. I know what it does, but it's not about me. It's about you learning something fun, right? Okay. There we go. That's liquify. All right. So hit cancel for me. And you'll notice here that there's a preview. So it shows show original or edited image. Okay. So that's the original, but that's the edited image. Okay. So we'll leave it like that. I'm going to hit cancel. Okay. Then we're going to go back to filter. And I want to talk about 3D. We're not going to do anything with because this is not a 3D image. But blur, we can do average, blur, blur more, box blur, Gaussian blur, lens blur, motion blur, radial blur, shape, smart, and surface blur. Okay. Then we have blur gallery. So we have iris blur, field blur, tilt shift, path blur, and spin blur. So let's do iris. So essentially what this is going to do is, in the video world, they call this a rack focus. Okay. So a rack focus is when you have a vantage point and you focus in on that and you blur out the rest of the image. Okay. So this is a rack focus. Just like that. Beautiful. Now we can save this. So I can hit OK. And now you've done a rack focus. Nicely done. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do distort. So I'll just talk about these. Displace, pinch, polar coordinates, ripple, shear, spear eyes, twirl, and wave. And then we have noise, so add noise. Pixelate, we can color half tone, crystallize. I really like this one. This one's cool. Let's hit OK. There you go. It's getting harder to read, but it looks really cool. It looks like stained glass windows, right? So Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. And then we have, we did pixelate. We have render, so flam, picture frame, tree. So let's do a picture frame. That's fine. Hit OK. And there you go. So now we have a picture frame, which we'll save. Okay. We can do clouds. So for render, you can do clouds. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo that, or you can go to Edit and Undo. Okay. I'm going to save, and then let's do sharpen. So we can do shake reduction, sharpen, sharpen edges, sharpen more, smart, sharpen, or unsharp mask. Stylize, we can do diffuse, emboss, extrude, fine edges, oil paint. Oil paint, I like that one too. Oh yeah, here we go. We're going to completely not be able to recognize this image. Nice, nice. Okay, then we have video, so you can do deinterlace and then NTSC colors and then other. Okay, So that is the filter menu. But before I go, I want you to hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC to save that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 3D menu. Okay, so we have, and this is going to be kind of a quick one because none of these are active because I don't have a 3D file. Okay, so you can do new 3D layer from file, merge 3D layers, export 3D layer, spherical panorama, get more context, content, new 3D extrusion, new mesh from layer, new tiled painting from layer, and then all this stuff that is not selectable. Okay, so that's the 3D menu, short and sweet, but we'll get into it more later on. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the view menu. So we have proof setup, proof colors, gamut warning, pixel aspect ratio, which is square, keep it there. Pixel aspect ratio correction, 3D, 32-bit preview options. We have zoom in, zoom out, fit on screen, fit layers on screen, fit artboard on screen, 100%, 200%, print size, actual size, flip horizontal, screen mode is standard screen mode. We have full screen mode with menu bar, and then we have full screen. Yes. Now if you hit the letter F, that'll bring everything back. If you hit it again, it'll take you to the second mode, and if you hit it again, it'll go full screen. Okay? So don't worry about that pop-up. Just hit the letter F and you'll be back, and that's on Mac and PC. Extras show, and you can show layer edges, grid, etc. Rulers is showing snap, snap to, guides, grid, layer, slices, artboard bounds. Okay, lock guides, new guide layout, new guides from shape, lock slices, and clear slices. Okay, so that's the view menu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the window menu. So a lot of these options here, I'm going to be talking more in depth in later sections. So I'm just going to do an overview. Okay, so we can arrange, and this is just kind of the look and feel of the interface. We can do tile all vertically or all horizontally, and you can just consolidate all the tabs. And they have a lot of options here to move stuff around. Okay, workspaces, you can do essentials, you can do 3D, motion, painting, photography, graphic and web, reset essentials, which is the current workspace, new workspace or delete workspace, and then keyboard shortcuts and menus, and then lock the workspace. Okay, so for Exchange, Adobe has an Exchange program where you can download and install extensions to improve Photoshop. And so if you click here, it'll take you to adobe.com where you can do that. Extensions, this is where you have the extensions that are installed. Okay, and then 3D, actions, adjustments, brush settings, brushes, channels, character styles, clone source, color, glyphs, gradients, history, histogram, history, info, layer comps, layers, learn, libraries, measurement, log, navigator, notes, paragraph styles, paths, patterns, properties, shapes, styles, swatches, timeline, and tool presets. Sorry. Application frame, options and tools, and then the document here, Untitled 1. That is the window menu in a nutshell. Now, later in this course, we're going to talk about all these panels. We're going to cover extensions, and we're going to talk in depth about workspace. So, no worries, but I just want to give you a quick overview of what that is so you'll know what we will be going into depth in later in the course. All right, so that's the window menu. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the help menu. So if I click on help, I can search for help right inside the program here. We can go to home, Photoshop help. We can look at Photoshop tutorials, system information. We can manage our account. We can sign out, and we can also do updates, which I recommend getting from the Creative Cloud application on your desktop. Okay, so that's the help menu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome to section 6 where we're going to talk about tools. So in this video, we're going to go over an overview of all the tools that we're going to be learning about in this section. So we're going to start with the Move tool, and then we're also going to talk about the Artboard tool inside of the Move tool because they're connected together. Then we're going to talk about the Rectangular Marquee tool. Then we're going to cover the Lasso tool, okay? then the object selection tool, the crop tool, here. Then we're going to talk about the frame tool, the eyedropper tool, okay? Then the spot healing brush tool, the brush tool, the clone stamp tool, the history brush tool, the eraser tool, the paint bucket tool, and then the blur tool, dodge tool, pen tool, type tool, path selection tool, rectangle tool, okay, hand tool, zoom tool, okay, and then add a toolbar, and we'll talk about how to set the foreground and the background colors. And that will wrap up the tools section. So with that in mind, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to cover the move tool. Okay, so the move tool is crucial to Photoshop because whenever you're in a canvas, when you're on the canvas here, the move tool you use for everything. Okay, the move tool is one of my most important tools, and it's such a basic thing, but it's very important. Okay, so let's talk about what is the move tool. Basically, moves a selection or layer. Okay, so you can move a layer or a selection with a move tool. Okay. Now let's talk about the artboard tool. So the artboard tool basically allows you to do this. You can draw a separate, if I zoom out, so click on the zoom tool for me real quick, hold Alt and zoom out. And if I grab the artboard tool, right, I can draw an artboard right next to the canvas that we have, and we can create other artboards right next to it. So I can expand this out, and I can delete artboards, no problem, just by selecting it, right? So if I just click on it, which again, we're using the move tool as a selection or for selection or for layers. You know, you can select a layer or you can use it for a selection or a layer. Moves a selection or a layer, okay? So that's the artboard tool and the move tool, okay? So let's hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the rectangle marquee tool. Okay, so let's do me a quick favor. Let's add a new layer to our artboard here, and let's hide our bottom layer, and we're going to draw a rectangle on our new layer here, layer 2. Okay, then let's grab the paint bucket here, and let's fill that in. Hit Command D on the Mac, Control D on the PC to deselect that, and then let's hit File, Save, just so that we have this saved. And so that's how you create a rectangle. Let me fix this real quick. Okay, there we go. That's how you create a rectangle with the rectangle marquee tool. Now let's create a circle with the ellipse tool. So let's add a new layer, okay? And then draw it here, hold Shift to make this circle square, even though it's circular. And then we're going to grab the paint bucket again, and instead of black, let's do like a blue. Okay, and we'll do like a light blue there. Okay, and then Command D on the Mac, Control D on the PC, Control S and Command S on the Mac and PC to save. And then let's do the single row marquee tool. Okay, so let's make a new layer, and then let's go here and just hit delete, and then Command D. Okay, let's hit Command D there. And then we'll do single column marquee tool. So I'll hit delete on that. And we ought to select layer 2. And once I do, then I can add that line there. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to draw the marquee, the single column marquee tool, and then the single row marquee tool, and I had to be on the right layer, which I wasn't on the previous one. So there you go. So now you can see the lines. Okay, so that's what it would look like. So that is the rectangle marquee tool, the elliptical marquee tool, the single row marquee tool, and the single column marquee tool. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the lasso tool. So if I click on the lasso tool, you're going to see if I want to draw around this circle, this is kind of like a freehand selection. Okay, so there's not a lot of skill involved with that. In fact, it kind of gets out of control if you don't really have good drawing skills, which with a mouse I do not. If I had a tablet, I could do it with that, but where you have a pen and you're drawing on a tablet. But with the mouse, I'm not very good. So if I Command D, then we can get out of that. But that's a lasso tool. It's basically a selection tool, and it will give you the ability to make freehand selections. Okay. Now let's use the polygonal lasso tool. Okay. So if I hover over this one, creates a straight edge selections. Okay. So we can go like this, go up here, go here, and then down here. And that's the polygonal lasso tool. Okay. If I hit Command D, that'll deselect it. If I right click and we do the magnetic lasso tool, you'll like this one because this has got points. So this will curve. It's magnetic. So if it's on a shape like this circle, then it's going to snap to the edge of the circle and go all the way around. And it makes it really easy to select this circle, right? Same with this rectangle or the marquee here. I can go there and I can go around and come back and down and around. Now, if you go too fast, it won't snap correctly like it did with the circle. But if you just go just the right speed here, the key here is just to practice doing that a few times. I do it like 10, 15 times and then you'll get it. And then I'm pretty good at it, but even I fumble once in a while. So you see my rhythm there. I just kind of bring it close and then it snaps. Okay? So that is the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the object selection tool. So it finds and automatically selects an object inside a defined region. Okay? So let's select that. And let's just highlight the circle here. And it couldn't find an object to select. Okay, so let's try again. Now that I selected the layer, there you go. So you got to make sure the layer is selected. Okay, that's the key to this. But this is kind of like an easier way to select something. So I have the rectangle selected, I highlight it, and then it selects everything. Okay, so that's a great tool to use. It's a really easy way to select things. So if I right click and I do quick selection tool, okay, I can go like this and I can do a quick selection. Now it's going to depend on there we go. And then we have the magic wand tool, okay, where you can just select certain areas and it will grab if there's enough of a difference in terms of tolerance. So here you have tolerance because there's a white line in between. So it can tell exactly where it is, but with this, there's no way to tell. And so it selects everything on the canvas. Okay, but if I select that layer, then when I select it, it'll grab that layer. Okay. So you want to make sure the layer is selected. And then we can select each area separately, and same with this as well. Okay. So that is the object selection tool, quick selection tool, and the magic wand tool. So thanks for watching, and I will see you. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the crop tool. So it trims or expands the edges of an image. Okay. So we can crop. So if I zoom out here, so all I did is hit the letter Z and then I hold Alt to zoom out. And when I grab the crop tool, what it's going to do is it's going to give you these points here. So we can crop inwards or outwards, which will add more canvas to the existing canvas. But I want to crop inwards because I just have these shapes here, so I just want that to show up. So if I just hit Enter, I think it's Enter. Let's see. Let's hit Command S, Control S on the PC, Command S on the Mac. And there you go for the crop tool. Okay. So now I can do the perspective crop tool. Okay. And then let's do the slice tool. And this is for optimizing images for the web. And then the slice select tool. Okay. So I can select that slice and then delete it. Right. So that's the crop tool, the perspective crop tool, the slice tool, and the slice select tool. All right. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the frame tool. So it creates a placeholder frame for images. So this is a great tool to use if you are building a web interface and you need a frame to hold for your content. And you can frame this out and use this to do a mock-up for your sites. And then when you have the content, you just throw the content in there and you're good to go. Okay. So that's really the purpose of this. It's kind of a cool thing to do, but again, it's really for mock-ups. You could use it for other things too if you want to set the size of an image a certain way. Then you could do that. Like whatever I just did there, it basically put the circle inside. So I moved this over here and the circle ended up being inside of there. Now what I could do is go like this, and this will become the image. Okay, so you see how it's holding it inside of that as a placeholder. Okay, so I think of it as kind of like a placeholder where you can put it in there, and then we can even go further with that. So there you go. That is the frame tool. All right, so let's hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the eyedropper tool. So you can see here sample colors from an image as an example. If I wanted to do that, let's say that I like this color and I don't know what the color is. So let's grab like a wild color that I would not know the hex code for. Okay. So let's change this to like a green, right? Okay. And then I grab the eyedropper and I come over here and I want to figure out what this color is. Okay. So the great thing about an eyedropper is you can go and you could grab an image of whatever. You bring that image in here. Great example right here. Okay. Here, let me turn all these layers off for a second. Okay. So let's say that we wanted to figure out what this color was, right, of this image. Okay. This is the layer that we turned off. So I'm going to turn it back on. Hit the letter I for the eyedropper. And so now we can click here and we can see the different colors that they have. Okay. So you can get kind of an idea of all the different colors that they used in this image. And then we added effects to it when we were talking about the filter menu. Okay. But you can see how I can grab the eyedropper and it drastically changes the color over here based on where I click, because it's just finding the color and saying, okay, this is the color. It's a dark brown, right? Same there. Same over here. Same up there, right? Okay, so that's the eyedropper tool. Then they have the 3D material eyedropper tool, the color sampler tool, the ruler tool, the note tool, and the 1, 2, 3 count tool. Okay, so those are the other tools that they have available in that area. So let's hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the spot healing brush. Okay, so with the spot healing brush, if I hover over this, it's going to give you a little bit of instruction. It removes marks and blemishes. Okay, so let's say that with this image here, I wanted to get rid of the text, but I wanted to keep the background. So what I would do is I would hold Alt, and this is on the Mac and the PC, you just hold Alt. Okay, so we just go like this. And actually, you don't need to hold Alt. You just fill in where you want to remove the blemish, and Photoshop does the rest. Now, I want to zoom in a little bit just so you can see what happened there. So what we did is we grabbed the spot healing brush and we just went in and we drew over this, and Photoshop basically takes a slice of this and puts it up here. Okay, so let's say that we want to get rid of all of this, right? There you go. And then we want to get rid of this as well. Okay, so we do that, and then this right here. There you go. And then we can go down here and up here and over and down and around. And then we go over here. Okay, so I'll just do a little more just so we get an idea, and then we're good to go. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go down here. And the cool thing is we can grab a bigger brush. So let's jack this up to 63. And then when I draw it like here, it'll clear out faster. Okay, so this is a way to take care of blemishes and just let Photoshop do the work for you. And all it's doing is it's making a replication of this canvas. So the more I do, it's just copying from here and it's just replicating that so that you can fix the blemishes. So it just looks naturally clean, you know, like it's supposed to. This is why Photoshop is so fun, because you can do so much with it, and they have such great tools, and they've done such a great job of improving the program every year that it's just fun to use, you know. I never get tired of Photoshop. Photoshop is my favorite program. So now let me zoom out real quick. So there you go. So I basically deleted all the text. And so let's save that with Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. And that is the spot healing brush tool. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the brush tool. Okay, so we have, if I click on that, okay, I can hit X. And what X does is it will toggle between the foreground and the background. Okay, so if your background is white, and you want it to be the foreground, then you just hit X and it'll switch. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to up the size here to 55 pixels, and I want to zoom in on the canvas here, and then we're going to write something. So let's grab the brush tool and let's say Photoshop. Let me zoom out here. Okay, wow, my text is a little big here. Hold on. Okay, how about we do this? I'll make the, we'll go to 22 pixels and just do Photoshop rules, because we all know that Photoshop is awesome. Okay, there we go. With a smiley face too. There we go. Okay, so now you know the Photoshop rules, so let's hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the clone stamp tool. So if I click on that, here's what the clone stamp tool does. So if I want to copy this right here, this texture or style, here I hold Alt, I click, and I can paint that up here. And so what it does is it basically replicates this, and wherever I go, it'll copy that up here, okay? So like when I do this, it's good there. When I go here, it's good there, right? And then over here, it's good as well, okay? So that is the clone stamp tool. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the history brush tool. So it restores parts of an image to an earlier state. So if I go to this image here, we don't have anything to recover, but if I okay, so we can't use this tool because we don't have anything to restore. Okay, so if you look at the little tutorial that they have here, if you had a blemish on the picture and then you try to restore it, that's how it would be. Okay, now what we can do to make it work so you can see an example is I could hide all these layers, give this a background of black, okay, and then grab the history tool. Okay, it won't let me do that. Okay. On this layer, we could use the brush tool. Okay. And then grab the history. Nope. Okay. I guess it doesn't want to cooperate. All right. Well, there you go. So that is the history brush tool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the eraser tool. So if I click on that, I can go here and I can erase the white lines that I put there. Okay. The other thing I can do is if I want to erase if I want to erase this, that'll work. But the best way to do it is if we make a new layer. And let's say that I want to grab a rectangle, right? And make it black. And then I grab the eraser tool, I can erase this, okay? And then I can make it the way that I want. So that's the eraser tool, all right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the paint bucket tool. So the cool thing about the paint bucket tool is I can paint the whole canvas, okay? I can grab whatever color I want and paint the whole area, or if we just draw a rectangle, okay, then I can just paint that. So if we want it to be like a dark blue, I can paint that, and there you go. So that's the paint bucket tool. We also have the gradient tool, which we can draw a gradient, and then the 3D material drop tool, which we'll use if we're doing 3D work, okay? So that's the paint bucket tool. Hit Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the blur tool. So this will blur areas in an image, okay? So if I go to this image right here, right? I know that we covered it up with text and all that good stuff, but if I give you an example, we can do, if I select a layer, I can blur this a little more. Okay, and if I grab a larger brush, it'll allow us to blur it more. Now we added effects to this, so it's kind of hard to see. But again, the idea here is all you're going to do is you're going to go in there and blur the image. Okay, and so if you wanted to blur it, you would just grab this tool and draw over it, and then you'd blur the image. And that's another way to do it without the filter. Okay, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the dodge tool. So this lightens areas in an image. Okay, so if I click on that and then I do this, it should lighten it up a little bit. It's not going to do much because of this image, but it will do a little bit. Okay, so that is the dodge tool. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the pen tool. So if the pen tool makes and changes paths or shapes with anchor points and handles. Okay, so the cool thing about this is you can make really cool looking shapes with the pen tool. Okay, it'll let you do a lot of dynamic things, and you can also adjust these anchors to go out in wherever you want to go, you know. And so you can really get creative with this and make really funky looking cool looking shapes, okay? And the best part is we can close this and I can fill it, right? Well, sort of. And that's the pen tool, okay? So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So that's the pen tool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the type tool. So let's turn this layer off and add a new layer, okay? And what I'm going to do is we'll keep that running here, and let's give it a background of blue. And what I'm going to do first is let's go to the pen tool and select this. See if it'll let me delete that. There we go. Okay. I've deleted that. So now what I want to do is go to the type tool, and we're going to hit X to convert the background to the foreground. And this is some text. Okay, so that's the type tool. And so when I select this, if I go to the top here, I can change the font here. Okay. So we'll use that just as an example. We can change the style if it allows us to. For this one, it just has a regular size, and then you can change the color here, okay? So this is some text, so we'll just leave that right there. So that's the type tool. So thanks for watching. Before we go, let's save with Command S on the Mac, Control S on the PC. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the path selection tool. This will select a whole path. Okay, so if I grab the rectangle tool here, and I draw that right here, okay, and I grab the path selection tool, okay, I can select that and move this around, okay, with no problem. So that is the path selection tool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the rectangle tool. Okay, so if I right click, you can see there's other shapes you can do too. You can do custom shapes. So this is the custom shape tool, and they have an array of shapes that you can use. So we can look in here. So let's look at boats. They have, let's see if it'll let me grab all of them. Okay, there we go. So we have leaf trees, we have wild animals. So these are custom shapes that you can grab. So like I can grab a tree here and draw that out. If I hold shift, then it'll keep it good there. Okay. Then we can drag that out. Then we can do we already did the rectangle tool in the previous video. And then we can do the rounded rectangle. We can do the circle if I hold shift. And we can do the polygon tool. Okay, and then we can bring that over there. So that is the rectangle tool. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the hand tool. So if I hold spacebar and I move the hand up and down, left and right, this is how you use the hand tool. Okay. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about the zoom tool. So if I click on the zoom tool and click in, that's going to zoom in. If I hold Alt, it'll zoom out. And then if I use the space bar, again, we can move the canvas around with the hand tool. So if we zoom in a lot, let's say we zoom in a lot here, and then I need to move to the left, you just hold space bar and you can move to the left, or you can move to the right and then make whatever edit you need to. Whoa, I don't know what that was. That was interesting. That was amazing. I've never done that before. What I was saying is when you're zoomed in, if you use the hand tool to go left, then you can zoom in on whatever you're working on, okay? So I use this all the time. I love the hand tool. It's one of my favorite tools in Photoshop and in Adobe Creative Cloud for that matter. And it's such a simple thing. Same with zoom. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to click on Edit Toolbar, and we'll talk about that, okay? So let's right click on it and edit the toolbar. And so here you can see, you can drag and drop tools or their groupings in the toolbar list view, move excess, unused, or low priority tools into the extra list. When enabled, extra tools will appear and their own slot at the bottom of the toolbar. So this gives you the ability to customize your toolbar to just grab the tools that you need instead of having everything accessible. So if you only use, let's say you're doing a prototype for your website, you're going to use the rectangle tool, the rounded rectangle tool, and the ellipse tool, and the line tool, but you're not going to use any custom shapes or the polygon tool. You can move those over here, and then you would just have access to these three. So you can customize this for whatever you want and whatever you need for that project. And you can also make a workspace for that so that way it's saved. And also you can save a preset. So if I click Save Preset, okay, we can give this a label for custom title bar. Okay, sorry, not title bar, toolbar. Okay, so that's a great way to customize this to what you need, okay, for whatever project you're working on. So that's how you edit the toolbar. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to set the foreground. So if I hover, I should say, over this white color here, we can set the foreground color to whatever we want, okay? Now, if we want to switch the foreground from the background to the foreground, you just hit the letter X, and then it will be navy blue, and the background will be red. And then vice versa if I switch it back. Okay, so that's how you set the foreground. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to set the background. So if I double click on the blue, okay, this is the color picker for the background color. Okay, so I can go like this, and we can select whatever we need to here. So like that right there. Save it, and now that is the background. Now if I want to switch it with the foreground, I hit X. And if I want to switch it back, I hit X again. And that's how you set the background, okay? So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Congratulations on finishing Learn Adobe Photoshop CC 2020. In this video, we're going to go over a summary of what we learned throughout the course. So in section 2, we talked about Creative Cloud. I talked about an overview of the plans that are available. We talked about the individual plan, business plan, students and teachers plan, schools and universities plan. Then I showed you how to set up an account, download the Creative Cloud app, install the Creative Cloud app, and then install Adobe Photoshop. Next, we talked about the welcome page. We went over the overview of the welcome page and then talked about Home, Learn, Lightroom Photos, Cloud Documents, Deleted, Create New, Open, and What's New. So thank you so much for watching the course on Adobe Photoshop CC 2020. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Until next time, thanks for watching and take care.